Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Chair League. I am your host, Jayzon, and we've got another Division 2 match. This one is going to be another really important one for the playoff picture. Hashtag Believe versus Shots Fired. Both of these teams currently on the outside looking in, but the winner of this match is going to be right on the cusp of making it into the playoffs. They're going to be either in or they're going to be very, very close. Meanwhile, the team that falls in this match will be out of the playoff picture. So both teams going to be really motivated to win this one. Malfurion going to be the first ban out from Hashtag Believe, and you got to figure that Shots Fired is going to go with a Samuru ban. Let's see. Don't use it on Internet Explorer. We can restart. And we will go ahead. It looks like we got a little bit of technical difficulties over here. We're going to restart the draft. Here. Not going to be a tracer ban. That would be silly. Got Dangy going to be the team captain for Hashtag Believe. We got Kamichi. Whisper over here for Shots Fired. Gonna re-roll this and try it again. But yeah, like I said, very, very important for these two teams. Currently, Hashtag Believe does have one more point in the standings than Shots Fired. So if they win this match, they have a little bit of a better shot. I think it's not quite guaranteed, but it's a really, really decent chance for them to make it in. Shots Fired, however, like I said, that 1 point can make all the difference in these little tiebreakers with similar win-loss records. But we'll see. This is, of course, going to kind of be a map pick of Shots Fired. Okay, so let's see if I can cam it up here. Okay, looks like they got it. Trying to figure out why that didn't seem to be working for Shots Fired, but Samuru is going to be the ban. Very predictable here, and Hashtag Believe knowing exactly what they were going for as first pick here on Dragonshire. Falstad, that global presence, so very important on this map. It can be so influential in these matches, and him being able to fly top to bottom on this relatively small map. You know, it's one of the smallest 3-lane maps. Promotes a lot of rotations, and that global presence can be a big, big deal. Would be surprised if Shots Fired didn't try and get some global presence of their own. And there you see it, Zagara, with one of those ultimates, Nidus Network does have the capability for global presence. We'll see if that's the direction they decide to go, and I imagine here on Dragonshire, that's probably going to be it. Ever since the good old days of the BS Nidus with Abathur, Nidus Network has had a serious presence here in Dragonshire, but we won't talk about those dark times of Heroes of the Storm. Instead, we'll just focus on the good times right now, where that global presence can be a really, really big deal. for Zagara, and Muradin is going to be the pickup here for shots fired. He gets a lot of value with that Dwarf Toss, being able to get in or out of those shrine areas very quickly, particularly in the top. When jumping over that wall, either way, it can be a really big deal. And just in general, pretty good bully on these shrines. Also good stall out poke potential and then disengage potential when you're trying to deny a Dragon Knight capture. Also, you know, decent at camps. Camps are pretty big here on Dragonshire as well. The 5 camps are pretty influential throughout the match. So Zagara and Muradin already picking up some good, solid camp-taking potential with those 2 heroes. Johanna will be the pickup. And if you want to talk about being able to stall out that dragon capture for days, Johanna's your girl. You can just sit her in the mid lane. She can soak up all kinds of damage before she's pushed out. And pretty much everything in her kit is all about denial. Being able to interrupt that cast. Jaina coming out here for shots fired. So going to have a nice bit of burst damage between Falstad and Jaina. But a very squishy backline being built so far. I think eventually we're going to have to see some good frontline support to be able to help them out. Johanna's a good start, but ultimately they're going to need at least another frontliner to be able to help with that, which does, you know, mean that Tychus could be an option here for the side of shots fired. Tychus very good on this map. The health of that Dragon Knight will just melt in the presence of Tychus, particularly if you also got a Draken laser drill sitting on it. But they are going to ban out Thrall here for the side of shots fired. So going to take away one of the better frontliners that doesn't have a huge health pool. Could be a foreshadowing of a Tychus pick. We'll have to see if #Believe is going to ban out Tychus here, or what they want to prioritize banning. They could try and put a little bit of a chokehold on that ranged damage position, particularly with the burst damage. Possibly trying to ban out Li Ming here. Could be a good choice for them. But they could go a few different directions with this. They could attempt to ban out another strong tank if they really want to go backline poke, but poke doesn't really work very well here on Dragonshire. They are going to elect to ban out Kael'thas, who is slowly started to creep back into the meta. Kind of reminds me of one of my favorite old dev notes on one of the Kael'thas nerfs that they gave, which was that no need to worry about these Kael nerfs. They're only a setback. He always finds a way to be OP. We're slowly seeing Kael'thas start to creep back into the meta with that Flame Strike build that we've been seeing a lot. So electing to be more afraid of Kael'thas than Li Ming in this situation is #Believe. So that's pretty interesting. Global presence coming in full force here from Brightwing for the side of shots fired. I love Brightwing on this map. Those quick rotations, the sustainability can be very, very good. And Brightwing also has good solid wave clear, which is very, very important here on Dragonshire. So as far as supports, is one of the best in that arena. And they will elect to go ahead and go Li Ming as well. So not having access to Kael'thas, Jaina, or Falstad, and Li Ming still being on the board, no reason to not pick it. They also probably didn't have to pick it here, but this does leave a good, solid comp built so far for shots fired. Not revealing what that last pick might be, that other frontliner. Still going to get to see what #Believe has. You know, this, if they go Tychus as another backliner, well, my mistake. If they were to go Tychus and go with a 3 backline formation, would have been something they would have wanted to avoid with a double tank comp. But they are going to go Alarak, so it's going to be another frontliner that can help enable that burst damage from Jaina and Falstad, and not only enable it, but contribute to it quite a lot. Alarak has a lot of burst potential, but also has the ability to deny players the ability to self-sustain. We've seen that a lot with Johannas. You know, Johannas are often the most tanky and unkillable hero in the game, but you have a good burst comp with the Alarak silence, so they can't use any of those self-sustaining abilities. They'll melt just as quickly as any other hero in the game, and So that's going to be really, really rough in these team fight situations if you get a good condemn. And they are going... Are they really going no healer? My goodness, the aggro. A medic. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to make sure the shots fired has seen the confirmation that that's supposed to be a medic. Okay, so it is indeed going to be not a Sergeant Hammer no healer comp, but it is going to indeed be medic, and then Kerrigan is going to be the last pickup here for shots fired, which makes a lot of sense. They want to make sure they have the dive potential to be able to get back to the medic, and let me tell you, that is definitely the case in the case of Kerrigan. All the dive potential that you could ever want, but I'm a little bit worried. You know, Alarak, Jaina, and Falstad, these are 3 heroes that can burst down Kerrigan very, very quickly, and with that silence, she wouldn't be able to get away. She wouldn't be able to continue to build up those shields and that, you know, from all that extra damage. So it could be a rough match in a lot of these team fight scenarios. So that could be something to be concerned about for the side of #Believe. Shots fired does have a good solid rotational comp to be able to try and pick up ganks, and if they get that 1 kill, if they can get to that back line, pick off the medic, pick off Jaina, pick off Falstad, even catch out Alarak with that CC combo and be able to take him down, they could end up rolling those resets and start to roll those team fights up very, very nicely. So we are heading on into the game. It is going to be Dragonshire here in Division 2. #Believe versus Shots Fired. Both of these teams building some pretty solid comps. Looking forward to seeing how these two teams do utilize them. If I had to give a slight edge to one team or the other just based on draft, I would probably give it over to Shots Fired. They do have the global presence a little bit stronger. Can't discount the fall stat on that for sure for the side of #Believe, but if I think if Shots Fired can last through the first phase of this game, pick up that Nidus, they could have an advantage here. But we do see everybody loading on into the game here. On the left, your blue team, it is going to be #Believe. Dengi is going to be playing Johanna. Dav on Lieutenant Morales. Lumpico is going to be playing Alarak. Yummy Cupcake going to be playing Falstad. And Jesserin is going to be on Jaina. Meanwhile, on the right, we do have Shots Fired. Kamichi is going to be playing Kerrigan. Bacon is going to be playing Li Ming. Checkmate playing Muradin. Terezi is going to be playing Brightwing. And Dicky Douche is going to be playing that Zagara. That one right there. Going to start to get a little bit of that creep spread in the top. It is going to be the lane of choice for the Zagara player, that solo soak position in the top. Be interesting to see who they put up against Zagara up there. You would imagine that it could very well be Falstad. And we do see the... Oh, Checkmate is going to get in there. We'll be able to dwarf cross out of that situation, though. But the combo is going to at least hit Morales there. Dav's going to be hit by that. But... Oh! Brightwing completely blown up. There is the burst potential that we see out of this comp. Without Falstad even, Pinka and Jesserin, enough there with that Alarak Jaina combo to completely annihilate that Brightwing right away. That was rough. A lot of burst. We're going to see a lot of soak miss here from Shots Fired. Is that rotation to the bottom? A little bit of a tilt factor there. Meanwhile, Kerrigan going down in the mid to yet again that burst potential from Jesserin. You know, it's long cooldowns from Jaina. That is the name of her game. But the highest burst potential in the game, when it comes down to simple DPS, Jaina can burst like nobody else in the game. She's one of the most underrated characters in this game for that. But it's all about positioning, and it's all about being patient enough for those cooldowns to come back. And gonna miss that telekinesis. Not gonna be able to catch Bacon out there. But both shrines are going to be held here. And Zagara going down. Yummy Cupcake definitely winning that duel in the top. We do see Terezi is going to cap on the bottom to be able to at least prevent a very early Dragonite here. But already almost a full level lead coming out here for #Believe. Those 3 kills and the superior soak and rotation here is really paying off early. They're going to have to enable this Zagara by being able to keep these structures alive and being able to get the push going, but ultimately that's not going to happen if they continue to lose the soak battle and just give up these picks over and over again. They are actually, for a bit here, going to be holding both of these. Bacon's going to go ahead and come down, try and support, but we are going to see Yummy Cupcake rotating to the top lane to go ahead and cap that before Checkmate can even get much of a cast even started. Back and forth we go. Kamichi trying to catch somebody out, but ultimately he's going to get rotated on here. And I have to back out of that situation before things get too ugly. 4-man rotation going to the bottom to catch a lot of this soak. Still, not quite a level lead, but certainly over half a level here for the side of #Believe. And Zagara going down in the top lane yet again. That's really a bummer. They are losing that top lane duel. Is the side of Shots Fired, and Yummy Cupcake is winning it, but not getting away unscathed. But his efforts are definitely paying off up in that top lane. Gonna see Lampico telekinesis himself out of trouble, and then turn around on Kamichi as he comes back around to try and get Dave on that back end. But Morales not usually an easy hero to get through. And we are going to see the stall out is going to pay off here for the side of #Believe. They go ahead and cap that Dragonite and are going to be able to go right into the mid lane here to get started on this fort front wall in the mid lane. Now Zagara is being just completely bullied up here. The wave just coming in, and that's not usually how it goes with Zagara. Zagara's usually the one that is bullying, but you can see no damage done in that top lane. Dicky Juice has been having a really rough time up here with Falstad. Yummy Cupcake has been doing work and now has this Dragonite. You thought I was scary when I was on my bird mount. How about this dragon? Oh, and it's going to be pulled in here, actually. They are going full on after Dicky Douche here, trying to put a ton of pressure. Meanwhile, in the bottom, also getting some soak, some rotations here. Kamichi actually is going to get in on this Jaina, and a very, very rough rotation there is going to be completely blown up. And that is what I'm talking about with Jaina. She's got no mobility at all. And speaking of no mobility, the full lockdown on Lampico, when he's stunned, he's definitely got... With chain stunned like that, nobody has any mobility. Is able to telekinesis himself and get those Morales heals to get out of that situation. But Gestrin doesn't really have that ability. No teleport like on Li Ming. No gravity lapse to be able to stall away like on Kael'thas. If Jaina gets caught out, she is just stuck until level 20. She can finally pick up that ice block. Wasn't as big a deal for her when it was level 13. You just play careful for the first half of the game and just try not to get picked. But all these artillery mages that have come out that just have so much more versatility. And here it is again. Gestrin getting caught out a little bit. The CC combos go out full, and if Kamichi was there, that would have been a lot of trouble. Speaking of which, Kamichi is actually going to go in to try and pressure Gestrin, but will step out just in time to avoid that silence from Lampico. In the top lane, we also see Yummy Cupcake and Dicky Douche going back at it in that 1v1, and Slapfest going on in the mid from the tanks. But that bottom siege camp will be captured and get a little bit of pressure in there from Shots Fired, but nothing too crazy. Meanwhile, the B is going to get Brightwing out of there just barely in time. Once shrines are coming back up, we are going to see a bottom camp capture being started here by #Believe. They are level 10, so they're looking to take advantage of it. Lampico with a nice job hitting that combo out on Kamichi. saying, hey, check out my combo. You think yours is powerful. Stuns are great, but silences work too. A little bit of pressure coming in here. 3-man rotation on the top lane for shots fired. They are going to go ahead and pick up their level 10s. We are actually going to see Devouring Maw come out, so Dicky Douche is going to be looking to help himself out with that dual ability a little bit more. Meanwhile, still waiting on that medic pick. You know, you could see a medevac here. This is the kind of map where you can get some serious advantage out of the global presence that it can give you. We are going to see Checkmate rotating in here to be able to try and pressure these guys off here in the bottom. Hashtag Believe getting a nice push through that front wall, even getting a little bit of damage out here onto the fort. So nice pressure, 4-man rotation still here on the bottom. Looks like they are going to go ahead and try and defend this in this scenario. They don't want to lose this. Going to get the stun out on Checkmate. Is going to have to pop that Avatar. The ring is going to come out and hit a couple in that front line, but a nice job by Destrin getting out of that. Lampico getting a little bit low, but here comes Falstad with that fly-in and gust. It's going to take down Kerrigan right away, and Checkmate is going to be caught out in the back here. Nowhere he can go. That's going to be a 2-for-0 exchange. Very nice from Yummy Cupcake. Very well timed to be able to isolate those frontliners and take them down here to get the advantage here as they move on towards that level 13 talent tier. Dicky Douche not being completely passive in the top lane, though, does go ahead and get that front wall. Starts to push that away. Terezy doing a nice job rotating out and responding to be able to at least get the soak to try and clean up here and get a little bit of extra out of a bad situation there. Meanwhile, we do see the members are back up. Death timer's not too long in this game. They've actually done a decent job of keeping up on XP at this point. Still only about that half level behind that they fell, you know, seemingly right from the beginning. But keeping up somewhat. Oh, we are going to see the CC combo coming out on Checkmate though. Is able to dwarf toss out of that situation, however. No healer down here though. Brightwing still pressuring in that mid lane. And 4 members are down here, but that is going to be a completely whiffed zoning ring, if you will, there from Jestrin. But they are actually going to end up getting Li Ming, and Kerrigan's going to go down as well. So, you know, who needs Ring of Frost, really? I mean, you know, might as well invite the Water Elemental out to play. In the top lane, we are seeing Terezy and Dicky Douche, though, getting a little bit aggressive with this push. However, in the bottom lane, this is a full 4-man push coming out here. Oh, and here comes the fly. Oh, Falstad actually going to elect to fly up and grab that camp. I thought maybe it was going to go after a little something different as Brightwing phase shifted on out to go back to defend. But they're going to see the duel going on here in the top. And Yummy Cupcake, looking to win this one again, is indeed going to be able to win it. Has had Dicky Douche's number all game in that top lane. And nice silence coming out there from Lampico. Meanwhile, they have gotten the Dragon Knights. Jestrin doing a nice job of rotating out and capturing that as soon as Falstad had captured. And just not a quick enough rotation there from the side of Shots Fired to be able to really defend against that. It is going to reward them with their second fort of the game here in the top lane. And I imagine they will start to set their sights on that mid lane. The side of Hashtag Believe has healed up fully, and they are starting to rotate. Yummy Cupcake missing a little bit of health, but it's nothing that Dav can't fix in just a couple of seconds on that Morales. Doing a really nice job of protecting Morales and keeping the heals coming in this comp. Those rotations and those ganks have been on point. 9 kills to nothing here for the side of Hashtag Believe.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
They're going to push right through that mid fort, no problem. They do have the 16 talents here now, so this is a place where they could decide to fight. Already a lot of poke damage coming out, and they are going to go ahead and pull in and isolate Checkmate. And the Maw also is going to come out to be able to get a few, and a huge orb and Calamity combo coming in from Bacon, and he is not done. The resets are coming out. They are going to get Dangy on the backside, but will it be in time to proc those resets? You do see the reset coming out. Gonna get that. Oh, Dav! Just barely surviving. Jestrin actually trying to get the response damage out on Bacon, but can't quite get the job done. Oh, Dav almost dying there. That health bar was very, very low with that disintegrate beam. One more tick of that would have been enough. Bacon going to go ahead and rotate down here with Checkmate and Kamichi to go ahead and get this front wall taken care of. I like the thought there with the mule, but that's not going to work on that front wall. It'll be instantly blown up. As they are trying to aid the push of this siege camp, but ultimately, hashtag Believe is back. They did lose that fight, which is going to give them at least even talent tiers, but they're ready to get back in and start fighting this again. But it was a pretty incredible turnaround there from Shots Fired. It all led in from that Dicky Douche Mosh, or Maw, I should say. That Devouring Maw. Bacon was really, really ready to follow that up. Huge ring and teleport combo with that Calamity to be able to proc that first reset. Instantly get another blink with that Calamity to really snowball that fight, and that is going to be what Shots Fired are working on for the rest of this match. Is doing what they can to try and snowball with that Li Ming reset build, and that's what you really get. That's one of the major things that you get with Li Ming that you just don't get with Jaina, is that reset mechanic. When you finally do get that kill, which can take a little bit longer, admittedly. Oh, huge rotation coming in here on Dicky Douche. He is in trouble as the slows are going to come in. Going to get hit by 2 waves of that, and Jestrin is just going to chase him down, and that is an easy kill with those slows. So very slow, especially with that lingering chill. You know, you're just not going anywhere for a while. Seemed like he was running so slow, I almost wondered if he took the increased slow talent. We're going to see a nice rotation here from the side of hashtag Believe. They get that pick. We're going to start putting some map pressure on. Right now, the side of Shots Fired trying to stick together. Does look like they're going to go ahead and start rotating up towards that top at least a little bit. But ultimately, looking to just defend here. Set a trap, maybe catch somebody out. Yummy Cupcake might be taking that trap, but we'll actually check the proper way with that hammer. Making sure not to get caught out face checking there. And the full rotation coming in from hashtag Believe. And Danger Ping is correct. Li Ming will be able to blink on over the wall, though. Get that denial in the top for at least a moment. And Terezi has left game here. I think I proc out a pause here. Nope. He's back. Oh, but it's not going to be in time. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Kerrigan going to be caught out in that rotation. Trying to cap that bottom camp, but got to give a lot of credit to hashtag Believe. They were patient, and they did indeed believe that somebody was going to come in. Speaking of being caught out, Dangy is completely caught out in the top lane. Trying to get back to where Dav can heal, but it's not going to be in time, and now Dav is going to find himself in a whole mess of trouble. And a big silence coming out there from Lompico, but Counter-Strike not going to get any value in that situation. The Gust is actually going to push them into a position where they can chase even harder here on Lompico. Is going to have to back up out of this situation. Yummy Cupcake also getting in a little deep here. As, wow, the push, Shots Fired are really, really looking for it right now. Kamichi is coming back in this situation. They did get that pick on Johanna, so why wouldn't Shots Fired be really aggro in that situation? So they're going to go ahead and start to rotate down to the bot, clear these lanes out. Level 20, the race to 20 being won just a little bit here by the side of hashtag Believe, but both teams will have it before too long. Structure-wise, gotta give it over to Shots Fired right now. They're doing a really nice job of taking advantage when they do get those advantages. Zagara was able to get enough pressure to be able to push that bottom lane out at least, but that's been it thus far. Trying to set up a little bit of a gank here, and Lompico's gonna walk into it, almost walk into it. Does decide to rotate around, That ESP telekinesis going on there. But they are going to go ahead and invade on this camp. The Gus is going to come out. He's going to secure them the camp. But in return, we're going to see the two-man Maw and the instant blow-up of Jaina. And it's going to be 4 for nothing. And Yummy Cupcake is going to be able to just barely barrel roll out. But that is a huge win for the side of Shots Fired. Yet again, Dicky Douche being able to set up with that two-man Maw. And the cleanup coming in from Komichi and Bacon with that Maelstrom right on top of everyone coming out of that Maw. The Calamity build really paying off here for Bacon. And there's not a whole lot that Falstad can do about this. Yummy Cupcake trying to figure out what kind of value he can get on the map without putting himself in trouble, and the real answer is none. Anywhere he goes, anything he does, he's going to be in trouble of being caught out here. He's going to go ahead and rotate smartly to this bottom lane, but he's going to be showing, and I imagine that's going to proc the rotation from at least a couple members. Komichi's coming down, but it's not going to be in time. Yummy Cupcake not getting on point there early enough to be able to prevent the Dragon Knight capture, and the rotation coming in here. They are all going to go ahead and rotate to this mid to get started, and right away they're going to get that mid forward. So this is the opportunity that Shots Fired really needed. They haven't been able to capitalize too much throughout the match, but that big team fight win will give them a dragon, and they're going to be looking to go for a keep here in the bottom lane. All 5 rotate into this very, very hard. Devouring Maw is up here, and you can see Dicky Douche is still in this Dragon Knight. Will not be able to do that just yet. But the question is, will Checkmate live that long? Bacon going ahead and trying to throw out the damage to pressure him off. But Telekinesis dragging him back in. Yummy Cupcake going to fly in from the back end, and the Gus is going to come in to be able to push Checkmate out. But it is dodged, and they turn around and are going to kill Yummy Cupcake for his trouble. They're also going to turn around and get a ton of damage out. Jestrin getting very, very low. Dab doing all he can to heal, but he's completely out of mana here. They're going to have to back up. And very nice turn there from Shots Fired, not being put out of place by that Gus, turning around and killing Falstad. And they do a really nice job of getting full value there, and they can turn on this. They have Maw here with Dicky Douche now, but they are going to go ahead and elect to back up in this situation. No Falstad, but still plenty that #believe could do. No reason to risk it. They're going to back up, paint the map their color, and live to fight another day, as they really have started to catch up in this match. Both teams have both of their keeps, and this is actually turning out to be quite a match here. Very, very close, as Shots Fired have really come alive here in the second half. It's everything for the last few minutes of this match have been coming up for the side of Shots Fired. #believe, though, doing a nice job being able to defend that keep, only losing 1 in that scenario. Maybe a little bit of an overly aggressive fly-in and Gus from Yummy Cupcake. Gotta be careful with that, with Kerrigan and Murden on the other side. Dicky Douche in the Dragon Knight in that scenario. So not as much value, I think, out of the flyover and gust method when you got mostly frontliners when one of their backliners are in the Dragon Knight like that. But camp's captured pretty evenly. You know, a little extra one for the side of Shots Fired with that rotational advantage. Does look like they're looking to catch somebody out, but both teams rotating very tightly. You know, 5-man squads throughout the map, cleaning, soaking. At this point, they're not going to get too much of an advantage, about a half-level advantage, but they see in top that is where Shots Fired's rotated to. So they're going to go ahead and rotate and put a little bit of pressure on this bottom lane. The response is here from #believe. Morales is back at this point, but the ring is going to come out. A 3-man ring is going to be able to set up a solid response here. The Maw's going to come out and catch 3 as well, but too healthy is the side of #believe for anybody to be able to follow up on it. Yummy Cupcake getting a little low, but they are going to get the heals out. The charge coming in, so double ult at this point for Lampico, and the chase is on. Here comes #believe. They got that 1 kill, and they have tasted blood and are going for it. Jestrin getting a ton of damage out on Bacon. They are going to be able to get that pick. That's going to be 60 seconds at this point on Li Ming, and the chase continues. They are eventually going to go ahead and let the remaining members go. This is going to be free Dragon Knight for them. Yummy Cupcake going ahead and flying to the top here. And Lompico is going to be able to get this Dragon Knight for free. Question is, what can #Believe do with it? 10 seconds on Zagara. 35 seconds still on Li Ming. And they are not choosing to be aggressive with it. They're actually going to send the Dragon Knight back to help clear. They're going to go ahead and clear this mid lane. I don't know. I feel like, you know, that could have been an instant charge bottom to be able to go through this keep. But now this is going to set up an opportunity for the side of #Believe to be able to, or I should say Shots Fired to be able to defend this against #Believe. They're going to go ahead and take this front wall down, and Checkmate getting very low is going to get blown up, and that is a huge pick as Muradin gets caught out without the ability to get out of that situation. Gets locked in just long enough for Lompico to do a ton of damage with that Dragon Knight. And it does look like they're looking to catch one of these backliners out, but Dragon Knight is coming in. Dangy getting very low. But again, Dab with those Morales heals, and pretty much actually decided to go Storm Shield instead of the infinite mana talent at 20. That's a pretty interesting pick. But keeping them alive coming out of that mob was a very big deal. So definitely give him some credit for that. You know, responding to what's been going on all match. Lompico are going to go ahead and rotate down to this bottom lane. Mid keep has been taken, looking to put some pressure on a second one. And Jesterin getting some nice pressure out there with that damage in the bottom. But Dangy going in pretty deep here is going to take some serious harass. And we'll get the full value out of that Dragon Knight before it finally falls. But Muradin is coming back up, so this is not the end of the match just yet. Mid keep taken, bottom keep damaged, but nothing that Shots Fired can't recover from at this point. Still anybody's match here. 24 minutes in, this has become a very long match for both of these teams. We're going to start to see possibly a little bit of fatigue setting in, possibly a little bit of tilt if one of these guys step out a little bit. This is the time where you really have to start playing more than ever as a coordinated team to be able to keep on it. Your focus can start to really wane in the late moments of these long matches, and it can really spell disaster. As we do see the rotations coming in here from #Believe, trying to set up a gank. They're coming in from behind. They're going to have a pretty good angle on this engagement to try and get after the ooey gooey center of Shots Fired. And they are going to get right in on Dicky Deuce, and they get that first pick. The ring coming out is going to at least slow everybody. The Gus is actually going to go split the team just a little bit. Yummy Cupcake is actually going to get picked here. It is going to start to set up those resets from Bacon, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. With two members down already, Dab getting very, very low in the back end, and Bacon is trying to get around to make that the target, but not quite able to get back. That is going to be a 1-for-2 exchange. They do get false stabbed, but they're going to pay for it with Muradin and Zagara. Meanwhile, in the bottom, that double camp is pushing. It's going to proc #Believe to have to rotate back and pick that up. So nice rotation there from #Believe. They did a really nice job of getting in there and blowing up that Zagara very, very quickly, tilting the fight in their favor and preventing Devouring Maw from being a factor in that situation, which has been kind of the cornerstone of Shots Fired, of the Shots Fired team fight wins throughout the match. But this is also, again, it's not the end. Everybody coming up at this point. Both teams going to go ahead and pick themselves up one of these shrines each. This is actually a very, very aggressive move we see from #Believe. They're going to go ahead and try to invade and steal this camp, but Jesterin is going to be caught out. The Ice Block is going to come out to save them. Storm Shield is going to give them a little bit of extra tank ability, but Jesterin's still caught in the back, completely cut off from the rest of the team. Yummy Cupcake with a very, very nice gust to be able to end that isolation, but Dab getting very low, and Kamichi is going to be able to jump in along with Bacon to get those two picks. Lompico in a lot of trouble as well will go down. Jesterin will fall. That is going to be a 4-0, and Dangy is not going to be able to get out of this situation either. A full team ace for the side of Shots Fired, and the throw pit is on. They went full ham to try to invade that camp, and man, are they going to end up beating themselves up over that decision. That was rough. They did not come out of that team fight with anything on their side. And Jaina got completely isolated in that area. So we are going to see them going ahead and rotating to this bottom keep. They're going to be able to take this down. They're going to bring the Dragon Knight straight through to the bottom. And I am not sure if #Believe has time to get back up. A little bit of a slow rotation here from the side of Shots Fired could give them a shot at it, but this Dragon Knight is full health, is going to be right-clicking on the core, and yeah, there is just no way. Falstad is going to try and get in here and Gust to save some time, but 30%, there is just no way. That last team fight from Shots Fired is going to be the winning factor, and that is GG here on Dragonshire. Shots Fired is going to earn themselves a shot at the playoffs here in the final week of the Chair League regular season for Season 3. A very even match, a very solid match from both of these teams, but it's like I said, it's as you get further and further along in these long matches, you just yeah, for sure. You just, you can get a little bit of the tilt factor going on, right? It just makes it a little bit harder to focus, makes it a little bit tougher to make sure you're making the right calls, and it was that last rotation to that camp. Camps at that phase are not very hard to clear. They're just not worth it if you're really risking something, and man, that last decision just did not pay off for them. Ended up spelling the end for #Believe. But congratulations here to Shots Fired. They're going to move on to possibly have a chance to make it into the Chair League playoffs for Season 3. That is a really big win for them. Got to be a really great feeling at this time for them. So let's go over these talents just a little bit here. As we see Trauma, pretty standard build for Morales. Mule coming out to try and get a little bit of that extra healing out on those on those structures. Stim Drone coming out mostly for the Falstad, but could also be used on the Alarak. I actually didn't see where they were focusing that. Either one could be solid targets for that though. So pretty standard build. Second Opinion and Mule kind of interesting, and Storm Shield. We see a lot of the shield and not Storm Shield, but the Self Shield and Mana Regen with the name that I can't remember. But so some long convoluted name, but definitely saw some Storm Shield value. There was that fight in the bottom, on their bottom keep where they were defending. They got Maud, and when they came out of that Maud, that Storm Shield made all the difference in being able to turn that fight around and come out of that with a positive situation. Going with Counter-Strike first was Alarak. Did see some solid deadly charges after 20 as well, getting in there, getting some solid value. Gathering Storm build, so going Mage Stad for the most part, but some solid gusts from Yummy Cupcake, doing a nice job of engaging and disengaging throughout the match. It kind of came down to a rough team fight at the end though, and not sure if Gust could have changed that very much. Saw a couple of whiffs, but a couple of good rings from Jestrin. In general, doing a nice job. Looking at the stats, definitely getting a ton of damage out. You can see like tons of hero damage throughout the match, so pretty solid damaging game for these guys. Meanwhile, the combo on the other end, Shots Fired, it just kept them in just long enough to be able to win. I felt like they were behind most of the game, but when they hit 10, and they started hitting these Devouring Maw, Maelstrom, and Calamity combos, that it made all the difference in the world for them to be able to catch up. They didn't get tilted from being a little bit behind in the early game, and you saw the you saw the perseverance coming out, the focus, the composure coming out from shots fired. They didn't turn around and give up. They kept playing it, and the minute their opponents made a mistake, they jumped all over it there and won it in a big way. So really, really hats off to these guys. Like I said, pretty standard Kerrigan build coming in with Maelstroms that were really valuable. This is the build that we're seeing a lot of Li Ming starting to take with Dominance, Power Hungry to be able to get that extra ability power, Illusionist, and Calamity, which we'd normally see with Demon Skin at 16, but a lot of people have been going Mirror Ball to counter these new melee assassins that we see coming in with Alarak, Samuru. Also good counters for the good old melee assassins, Zeratul, and Illidan, which we're seeing them be more and more popular. So we're seeing Li Ming players start to respond with this Mirror Ball added into Calamity to be able to get some good solid burst damage out, and then still have the burst potential to turn these fights around. Muradin going with a pretty consistent build. Brightwing going full phase shift build early. Interesting pick with Peekaboo. Felt like the healing could have been a little stronger with putting a little bit more attention to the unfurling spray builds, but ultimately rotations and global presence are really important. Like I said, the Peekaboo, I don't know if that one was particularly necessary, but phase shield going on Kerrigan along with hyper shift to have those more often. Phase shifts definitely worth. Blink heal for that added mobility can be really helpful against diving heroes like Falstad, like Alarak, like Jaina that can slow you and close the gap and all those kind of things. But Shield Dust and Bouncy Dust coming out, so pretty standard on the back end for the side of Therese. And interesting build coming out from Zagara. Like I said, a lot of times here on Dragonshire, we see the global presence Nidus Network coming in with push build, but they actually elected to go Ma to be able to get that Wombo combo, and they hit it a few times, was enough to keep them in the match. So solid play coming out from Dicky Douche there, getting those Ma's that were able to really enable his team to be able to come back in the situation. So thank you very much for joining me, guys. Congratulations once again to Shots Fired. I wish them luck over every other team than mine in Division 2, trying to get into the playoffs here at the end of the season. And congratulations to #Believe. They put up a really great game. And hopefully they will be back for Season 4 and sticking around to scrim us. Come scrim, everybody can come scrim. But thank you very much for joining me, guys. And I will see you tomorrow night with some more awesome Chair League action. Have a good night.